What's up, guys? It's Felix here, and this is going to be the first episode of what will hopefully become a show. Fridays at 7 p.m. Like I said, couldn't do today at 7 p.m. For live at least, but we're getting a video this time, pre-recorded. So today's episode is going to be about my personal music story. As a lot of you know, I do music. I write, I do guitar, I play bass, and sing, I rap, and I love music. So today we're gonna talk about my journey on that. Okay. So this is of course my beautiful guitar. It's my favorite out of all of them. I have, let me see. I have my first electric, that electric. I have an acoustic. I have a Spanish guitar, which you see a lot. I've got a bass. I used to have a ukulele. So I had a total of 6 stringed instruments. But over the years, I just stuck to my Spanish, which is over there, and my Telecaster. So let me show you. So this baby right here, this Fender Telecaster is my life. I love her so much. I actually still have not named her, just because I think she's just so hot. Like, you can't even come up with something for somebody as hot as she is. But she's amazing. She's been with me for, I can't even think that far back. Oh my God, I think from 2014 to now. So yeah, it's been quite a journey. I'm gonna plug it in real quick. That way y'all can hear what it sounds like. Perfect. Get a pick. So by no means am I an awesome guitarist. I'm actually a lot better at writing and then playing. I'm not really good with, freestyling over it, but see, I suck. Yeah, I'm really not that. Yeah, I'm really not that great at guitar. But we're not going to go into that. If you give me some time to write, I got you. Don't worry. I could play Santana style. I could do that shit all day. But I'm not that great when it comes to being put on the spot. Fun fact. We're going to turn that off now. And we're going to get into the story. So my story is that my parents both are very artsy people. My dad, as many of you probably already know, is Cuban Link. So I grew up with Terror Squad, Nas, freaking all those people, like the 90s hip hop stars. Like, they were just bumping in my household. And then my mom is a music lover. She loves music to the T. She also writes her own poetry and things like that. So, like, I kind of grew up in a very artistic household. And so when I was younger, I just listened to music all day. And I remember my grandfather actually has a Motown record, not a record, a CD. And this is back when, like, Walkmans and CD players and all that stuff were, like, a thing. I remember, like, being in the living room of my grandparents' house and having the CD player in and the Motown records was on there. And it would be like, sugar pie, honey bunch, I love you. Like it would be like that. It would be like Tears of a Clown. It would be Mr. Postman. Like all that old school like Motown soul feel good music. Like I would just listen to that on the couch, or I would listen to it. Like they used to have like a little exercise machine, and I would be on the exercise machine as a little kid, like just listening to the music. And from there, like I fell in love with it. I always, when I was little, I used to want to be a rock star and all that stuff. And so by the time I got into middle school, I had asked for an electric guitar, for Christmas. And I think what ended up happening was that the whole family chipped in like with money, and like they gave me gift cards and stuff like that, and just money. And from those savings, I was able to get my first guitar. So shout out to my fam, first of all, for like coming in clutch. But like that's when I got my first guitar. I wish I had my guitar here. It's in my grandma's house, but that guitar was like it was like a cheap, $100 Amazon electric guitar, but I loved it. Like it was supposed to mock the Stratocaster. Like it looks like a Strat, like your basic, electric guitar that you see at Walmart. Like it's only like $90. But that's what it was, and I loved it. And the first song that I ever played, the first song that I ever learned on the guitar was actually 1979 by the Smashing Pumpkins. So it's that song. And I love the Smashing Pumpkins. So that was like the first song that I ever learned on the guitar, and I thought I was the shit. Like I would call up family members and be like, "Look what I can play," and they just were like, "Oh my god, that's great! You're so awesome!" And like back then, I probably sucked even more than I do now. So like, who knows? But it was great, and how I taught myself to play guitar. I can't really say that I taught myself to play guitar, because you never really teach yourself how to do things. You kind of just find resources and they kind of teach you. So I looked up on YouTube, just guitar tutorials, how to play Smashing Pumpkins, how to play Guns N' Roses, how to play, Linkin Park, like anything or anybody that I listened to at the time. If I really liked the song a lot, I would just search up tutorials. And they would be like in front of like how I am right now, and they'd say, okay, well first you want to put your finger over here, and they just show you. Over time, once I started to get a little bit more comfortable with playing, that's when I started to really try to make my own music. I started to learn chords, just things like that. Your basic G, D, E minor, C, like your basic chords. And with those chords, you can play like thousands of songs, because like almost every pop song is based off of those chords. So yeah, once I started discovering chords, how to use them, how to play them, I started making my own music, and it was amazing. And the thing is that I actually made music before getting a guitar. I always had it like in my head, like I would be in high school in certain classes, and instead of writing notes, like I was actually like writing music, and if anybody's on here that like knew me in middle school or knew me in high school, you would probably remember that. Like if you had me in class, like you would probably remember me like just writing songs and stuff like that. But Yeah, man. And from there on, it was a wrap. You know, like I went to school for music. You know, I actually got my associates of science in sound and music technology. So I kind of learned how to do the behind the scenes work, um, and it was a great experience. If you want my advice, though, if you really want my advice with going to school regarding that, right? Regarding music, regarding anything related to entertainment or media, I would say try to try to educate yourself on the industry and try to equip yourself with the skills that are freely provided on YouTube or different, you know, much cheaper options than college. Try to do that first before you go. You know, like one of the things that I constantly think of is when I was in college, there was already people my age that were doing the things that I wanted to do. There were already people recording other artists that were my age. You know, there was already people my age that had done the things that I wanted to do at that age. And then when I graduated, I kind of graduated with this idea that okay, I got this paperwork, I got this degree, I busted my ass, you know, now I need a job, you know, and I tried to apply for these jobs and none of them hire because they want more experience than what you have in college. So that's why I say, you know, for anything music related, art related, anything like that, just exhaust your options, you know, like try to make contacts early, you know, make contacts now. um, a lot of people don't even need to go to college for it, you know, like it helps, you know, especially if you don't have the means to, you know, do the things that you want to do. For instance, like at college, you know, since they had a budget, you know, yeah, I had access to equipment that I would, you know what I'm saying, like that are worth more than, you know, that are worth more than my car. You know what I mean? Like there was just a lot of resources at college that you don't have at your disposal. You know, just because they're working with a bigger budget. So in that sense, it's good. In that sense, you know, you get more exposure that way to that kind of thing. But if you're talking about people, networking, connects, um, making a name for yourself, things like that, you've got to make sure that you're doing that way before you go to school. You know, you got to make sure that that's number one because in that industry, there are no stable jobs. There are no, you know, you don't, the time that you could work for a company or a record label and be stable and make a lot of money doing that, that's gone. You know, now we have things like this. We have Instagram, we have TikTok, we have YouTube, we have all these things that that kind of replaced the record labels. They replaced the recording studios. They replaced all that stuff. And it's not to say that the quality is better because it's not. You know, like you're having people that are working in garages like me, or you have people that are working, you know, in areas that the sound quality is not going to be that great. Um, but you know what? They're making money. You know, they're making money. They're making their profit. You know, and then they leave or they invest or they do whatever with it. So, you know, like I said, I wouldn't really waste time going to college for that. I would kind of just, you know, try to work with what you got, network, rent out studio space, do what you got to do. You know, don't just rush into college for that. For anything else, yeah, but for that, you know, you're better off YouTube Academy. You know, do something like that. And if you are currently in school for it, then keep going. I'm not trying to like derail you from your journey. I mean, if that's what you feel like you got to do, then do it. You know, it's fun. It's rewarding. Um, but all I'm saying is, you know, you can do that without going to college as well. If you got the paperwork, if you got the degree, fine, cool. Your circumstances, you know what your circumstances are. If you don't, then all I'm saying is, you know, try to exhaust all your other options before you do that. So I know I kind of went off track, but it's all helpful information, hopefully. Um, but yeah, so like when I started to write my own music, you know, I got into to hip hop, to rap. You know, obviously, you know, it kind of is in my veins, it's in my blood. Uh, but I started rapping in high school. You know, I never really thought of rapping in middle school. You know, like in middle school, I was kind of like the freaking not emo, but like I kind of was like Lincoln, you know, listening to Linkin Park and listening to Nirvana and Stone Temple Pilots, and like I went through like my grunge phase, you know, in those times, you know. So like all my songs that I made in middle school are like cringeworthy to the max. Like it's just crazy. It's whatever you could think of that sounds like Linkin Park. That's exactly what it was. When I went to high school, I did rap, and it was like Christian rap. So it was like even more cringeworthy because Christian rap back then was not like how it is now. We didn't have no NF. You know what I mean? Like we didn't have people like that. We had like Lecrae when he first started, and come on, like I'm sorry, shout out to Lecrae and all, but Lecrae he's not like he's not what he sounded like when he first came out. When he first came out, it was not that great. So, so getting back on topic, it was Christian rap, and like your boy was putting in like Christ in his lyrics like crazy, and it was all types of wrong theology. But it's really what helped me to come out of my shell, my musical shell. You know, like I used to attend a church back in the day that did talent shows and did talent nights and stuff like that, and I was blessed to be a part of that, and to, you know, also be a youth leader among them as well. And so it was definitely dope, and it helped me to kind of be a little bit more comfortable with being on stage and talking in front of a camera or an audience or things like that. That helped me. So later on, you know, once I started to get older and stuff like that, I started transitioning from just Christian rap to rap, you know, to like now your boy, he kind of like strayed away a little bit from, you know, the Lord and stuff like that. I started like, started really, you know, cursing and all that stuff in my rhymes and stuff like that. But it was fun, you know, like it was just fun, just having fun. But yeah, anybody would, like, if you read my journal, anybody would think that I was like some freaking gangster thug. Like, yeah, I wrote some crazy stuff. And then after that, you know, just going through life and all that stuff, I ended up just finding my balance, you know, and kind of that's where I'm at today, you know. Like I haven't released anything in a long time, and I apologize for that. But, you know, I've been through a lot, you know, and I'm kind of just trying to find my balance. And now that I think that I've found some kind of balance, I'm hoping to record again. There's some stuff that I have to order from Amazon regarding recording again. So once I get that stuff, I'll be able to definitely deliver some good shit to you guys. But yeah, that's pretty much my music story. If you want some inspiration, you know, I would tell you guys, work on what you're good at in music. You know, if you're an artist, if you're somebody who's trying to make it, who's trying to, you know, even if you're not trying to make it, but you're trying to just become a better musician for yourself, you know, really work on your strengths, not your weaknesses just yet. Work on getting really good at something. If you're good at rapping, work on your wordplay, your delivery, your swag, work on like all that. You know, if it's guitar work, work on your licks, work on your improvisation, you know, work on those things that you know that you're good at. Um, because then when you get really good at those things, then you can start polishing up what you're not good at. That way when you actually show people what you can do, you can wow them. They'll be like, oh shit, you a good guitarist, or you're a good rapper, or you're a good singer, like because you've practiced. So do that. When it comes to equipment, go cheap. For starters, go cheap. Look at what I got. What I got. I'm working with. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm working with Scarlett 2i2 from Focusrite. All right, that's that's an interface that I use. That's how I'm able to connect my microphone into my laptop, for instance. Like it's not just a USB that goes into the laptop; it goes into the interface so that it can produce good quality, and then it goes into the laptop. That's how I'm able to record my guitar. It's you can put a lot of instruments onto that. It's kind of like a mixer, right? In the studio, you have the big mixer with the knobs and the sliders and stuff like that. It's basically that, but condensed. So I say all that to say that only costed like $200, and today, this is from years ago. Like today, it's probably worth like what, 100? Like not even like 75, maybe 50. If I was gonna sell that used, yeah, I'll probably be like $50. So, but it works. It works, and it's great. A lot of people who are just starting out use that. Even a lot of professionals use that. When they're on the run. So yeah, go cheap. You don't have to buy Pro Tools. Like you don't have to do that for right now if you're just starting out. You can do something as easy as GarageBand or Audition, or God, there's this other one that's like not Edison. Anyway, there's plenty of free and cheap software that you can buy to record yourself. As far as guitars, like I said, my first was an Amazon guitar, dude. It was like $100. Like, not expensive at all. Not expensive at all. If you're looking for maybe a microphone, go with an SM57. Those are cheap. Anything to help you get your feet off the ground. Okay, that's what matters. You want your feet to get off the ground, and you want to start something up. Start something beautiful, start something authentic, and be yourself. Nobody likes when an artist like 6ix9ine, when they try to be something that they're not. Be authentic, be yourself. Be who you are, express yourself in entirety. And don't let anybody tell you who you are as a musician. Don't let anybody limit you to what you're only good at or anything like that. You find who you are as an artist, because it's your work, it's your art, it's your identity, and nobody can define that for you except for you. So that's just my advice from a non-professional, slacking, lazy musician to the next. That pretty much concludes our first episode here. I'm still kind of just trying to come up with a name for this show. So if you guys have any suggestions for titles of this kind of show, then please comment below. Also, any ideas for the next episode, that'll be great. Let's try to keep this going, guys. And next time, I promise, it's gonna be live. Okay, this is just the first time. I'm pretty busy today. Today was like orientation and all that stuff, so I had to make sure that I was on like my A game with all that stuff. But bye guys. Like I said, comment below for any new topics, and yeah, let me know what you guys think about the first episode. See ya.